All right, I'm going to go ahead and go live here. I know we're a couple of minutes early, and that's just so other people can join and to make sure hopefully I don't have any glitches going on here. I'm about to share this on my Facebook page, live, 11:30 a.m. Call it a moment with the pastor, a midweek moment with the pastor. It looks like it actually went live, so I'm going to hit the share button here so I can share this. Let's see here. There's Graceworks. I see some people joining. Hey, Mom. It's a little bit breezy out here today, so I'll speak up because the wind will probably be blowing through the microphones here. Let's see. It is beautiful here in Chattanooga, Tennessee today, by the way. Sorry, the wind's blowing my stuff around here. Where's that thing so I can share it? Sorry, it always takes me a minute to hit the share button on this. Got a lot of people joining. All right, good. Hit the share button, guys. You're probably going to share it before I do. Okay, there's that. Okay, good. I got one of the banners in the shot. That's nice. Share. I'm going to share it. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Jim. Let's see here. Write post, and I'm going to hit post. I just shared that to my page. Hit the share button, guys, please. We're going to do, this is our midweek moment with the pastor. I'm the pastor who's doing the midweek moment this time around. And of course, I'm going to start out with a little trivia. Why not? You know, do some of the stuff that we did in our trivia the other night. And by the way, while we're still getting started, I'm doing trivia, on Monday nights at 6:30 p.m., a Bible trivia, and I did it for the first time at Jack's restaurant that they just opened here at the foot of the hill at Graceworks Church, and it went really well. I actually had an in-person audience there, kind of just participating. So we're going to continue doing that. You know, we used to have some over coffees and some other things like that. And we used to have an evening over coffee. We even called it over cookies, if you remember that. Well, I'm going to kind of make this trivia that thing. I'm going to keep doing that at Jack's, maybe move to another restaurant sometime, but start out with Jack's for a little while here. You can come down, you can eat, you can get some dessert or whatever, but I'm going to be down there on Monday nights. I'm going to get down there about 6 p.m., and then we'll start the trivia at 6:30 p.m. It will be Facebook Live, and it will also be in-person live, and you can come in and, like I say, grab dessert, grab some food, do whatever you want to do, and that way we can kind of have some fellowship and kind of maybe have some kind of something like that over coffee or over cookies that we used to have. So there you go. There's your invitation, and you can hang around after. That's what I did, and I ate more ice cream after the trivia was over. So, hey, let's start out with midweek moment with the pastor here. I'm Michael Prettyman, Graceworks Church, but I'm going to start you out here with a couple of trivia questions that we did the other night. You know, there's a lot of nameless people in the Bible, and I have a feeling that we're going to have some more nameless people in the Bible trivias coming, like a part 2, a part 3, part 4, because there are a lot of nameless people in the Bible. So, I'm going to, sorry, bump that with the stand here, but I'm going to read give you a couple of trivia questions to get us started here. So help me out. What was the title of the Samaritan woman that Jesus met with, and he said to her, "But whoever drinks of the water that I will give him will never be thirsty again"? Do you remember the woman that he said that to? Can you remember what title we have given to that Samaritan woman that Jesus said, "Drink of this water, and you will never thirst again"? Do you remember what we call that person, because she did not have a name in the Bible, but we have given her a name? Who knows the name of that nameless person in the Bible? We had this in trivia the other night, so if you were watching trivia the other night, you have a head start on this. And once again, we had actual people in the room the other night, so that was a lot of fun. Again, guys, hit the share button on this so more people can see this. I'll give you a couple of questions here to trivia to start out. But who was that nameless person in the Bible that Jesus said, drink of the water I give you and you will never thirst again? Do you remember who that was? And I'll give another plug for trivia, 6:30 p.m., Monday nights on my Facebook page. And we're going to start having an actual in-person live down here at Jack's restaurant. So does anybody know who that nameless person was in the Bible that Jesus said, if you drink, it was a lady, if you drink of my water, you will never thirst again? Anybody know it? Anybody? Wonder if I lost everybody. just in case I lost you, I won't keep waiting for answers. I'm going to see if we're still Facebook Live here. Chip says, woman at the well. You are correct, Chip. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to give you one other thing, and we'll get into our midweek moment with the pastor. What is that? Okay, when Jesus was crucified, 2 other men were crucified with him. What is the title of one of those other men? Since he did not have a name, and Lori says, woman at the well. You are correct, Lori. When Jesus was crucified, 2 other men were crucified with him. What is the title of one of those other men who were on the cross? So Jesus was in the center cross, and there was guys on either side of him. They did not have a name. They were nameless, but there is a title that has been given to them in the Bible. One of the guys in trivia the other night said the guy on the left and the guy on the right, which that was accurate. And Chip says the thief on the cross, and that is the answer I was looking for. I can't even remember. I need to go back and read that story, especially since that is where we're coming to Easter and everything. Read that story. Yes, Pat says says thief. I don't know if it says what both of the different guys, I don't know, they were both thieves that were on the cross beside Jesus or what, but I need to go back and read that story and brush up on that, since Easter is right around the corner. Well, there's you a couple of trivia questions that we had the other night, and I'm going to hit that plug one more time. 6:30 p.m. Monday nights we do Facebook Live trivia, and we are going to start doing it as in-person trivia. If you want to be a part of that, kind of reminiscent of our over cookies and over coffee, but we won't be at the church. We'll be down at Jack's Restaurant. We'll meet there at 6 p.m. on Monday nights for whoever wants to come in person, and at 6:30 we will start our trivia, and then we'll just eat ice cream and milkshakes and chicken fingers and chicken and burgers and whatever else. So anyway, there's your plug for that, and spread the word on that. But I'm going to go ahead and start us out here with the midweek moment with the pastor. And, that means I have the newsletter article for today as well. And so what I'm going to do here is just kind of go over and highlight some of the stuff, or maybe all of what I've written in the newsletter. So when you see this, it'll be kind of a repeat of what I'm about to say here. So it starts out, the newsletter is going to start out saying, who's ready for daylight savings time change? I know a lot of people want daylight savings time change to be here year round, and so I know a lot of people are ready for that. Well, ready or not, here it comes. This Sunday we have daylight savings time change happening, which means that you are going to get, you're going to lose an hour of sleep. When you wake up in the morning, it's going to feel, if you wake up at 7 a.m., it's going to feel like 6 a.m. If you wake up at 6 a.m., it's going to feel like 5 a.m. This Sunday morning. But daylight savings time, but you will have more daylight in the evening. So what do? We spring our clocks forward, so before you go to bed at night, you don't have to do it much anymore with your cell phones. They pretty much do it themselves. You spring that clock forward an hour, and then, good morning, Connie. It's good to see you. So daylight savings time this weekend. And another thing I wanted to ask you about, this Sunday we had some lapel crosses that Brother Bill handed out. Pastor Bill Owens handed out this Sunday morning in the service. And one of my questions for you in the newsletter is, how many of you have had a chance to hand out your lapel pin and give your pin away? If you remember, Bill encouraged you to give that pin away and talk about his sermon. And we do have one testimonial of one of our church members who was able to give their pin away. And this is what he sent us. He said, when I went to work today after church, I met with a family. Her son said, where did you get that cross pin you are wearing on your lapel? I told him about the message today, took it off, and pinned it on him. He cried. Thank you, Graceworks, for sharing that with us. That was a testimony from Curtis Ottinger, where he was able to give away his pen on Sunday just after the service. And so I hope the rest of you have been able to give away your pen to someone and tell them the story that Bill was telling us on Sunday morning about the cross. And so I encourage you to do that. And Curtis, I know you're going to, maybe you can come back and pick up another pen and give it away as well. So let's see here. Okay, Chip's writing something there. But anyway, I encourage you to give away your lapel pin. And and then pick up another one after you've done that. So let me go on to the next thing here. A couple of things coming up because Easter is just around the corner, as we just said. First of all, Palm Sunday is March the 28th this year. Palm Sunday is March the 28th, and we have an exciting service, in my opinion, going on that day, because we're going to be kind of starting out the service with a baptism. We're having a 9 a.m. and a 10:30 a.m. service, but we're starting out with a baptism, and we are going to be having the Lord's Supper and that service as well. But also, if you remember, we didn't have any kind of cantata or any type of thing that at Christmas, and we're still not having any kind of cantatas or choir cantatas or anything like that. So we're going to have another quarantata, kind of like we had at Christmas, and it's just going to be a lot of music that Sunday, along with the Lord's Supper and a baptism, or a couple of baptisms. So I hope that you'll plan to be with us March the 28th. Palm Sunday, which is the Sunday before Easter, 9 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. And of course, that's a couple of weeks away. But then after Palm Sunday is Easter Sunday, which is the first Sunday in April the 4th, I believe. And we're going to be having a combined outdoor service at 10:30 a.m. on Easter Sunday morning. Now, of course, we can't control the weather. We don't know what's going to happen with the weather that day. If you remember last year, it started getting breezy during the day there, and it was a little cool that morning, and then we had tornadoes just kind of wreck Chattanooga that night. So, but we are planning tentatively this Easter Sunday to be outside, one service, 10:30 a.m. outside by the cross. So we would love for you to be there. If you have been hunkered down for the last year because of this coronavirus stuff and everything else that's been going on, this would be the perfect time to break that. And you always hear about keisters, the people who go to church at Christmas and people who go to church at Easter. Well, this Easter would be a great time to get back into the routine of getting back into church in person. So I encourage you as best you can to be getting back into church. If you feel comfortable doing that with your health and everything else. We don't want anybody to do anything that, if they have some type of conviction about their health, we don't want you to put yourself at risk. You can watch on Facebook Live, but I really encourage you, here comes the breeze, but make sure it doesn't blow everything over, but I really encourage you to get back in church, and if you haven't done it by Easter, get out here at Easter. We're going to have the parking lot. We're going to have it available by radio in the parking lot. So if you want to stay in your car, but I'm hoping we're going to be outside. Now, once again, if the weather doesn't cooperate, we'll move inside and we'll move to a 9 a.m. and a 10:30 a.m. service. But that's Easter Sunday, planning on being outside for a combined service at 10:30 a.m. And one last thing here. I want to leave you with a couple of Bible verses and a thought to follow up those Bible verses. Matthew 6:14 and 15. It says this: Jesus had just given the Lord's Prayer in Matthew, and then he followed up with this. He said, if you forgive those who sin against you, if you forgive those who sin against you, your heavenly Father will forgive you. But if you refuse to forgive others, your Father will not forgive your sins. We say that's something that comes with a promise. Let me read that again. Matthew 6:14 and 15. If you forgive those who sin against you, so if you forgive those who sin against you, your heavenly Father will forgive you. But if you refuse to forgive others, your Father will not forgive your sins. It sounds like a no-brainer to me, so that we should forgive. But let me tell you something. Here's the thought I want to follow up with. I start out with this. It says, be kind, never judge, always forgive completely, immediately, and always. I say that twice. Always forgive completely, immediately, and always. There is a very popular misconception that there's a very popular misconception that we all have about forgiveness, and here it is. The misconception is that someone is supposed to say, I'm sorry. And after they say, I'm sorry, in turn, we're supposed to say, I forgive you. That is the misconception right there. That is a major misconception, that someone has to say, I'm sorry, and then we in turn forgive them. Forgiveness is not contingent upon, I'm sorry. Let me repeat that. Forgiveness is not contingent upon an I'm sorry. Forgiveness should be immediate. Forgiveness should happen if the person never ever even says, I'm sorry. So let me explain a little further. The teachings of the Bible and Jesus teach us to not be selfish. So it teaches us not to be selfish. But this is one time where the Bible encourages us to be selfish in a way. Forgiveness really is a selfish act, but it is a very, very good and healthy selfish act. And let me explain here. Now, I could write for a very long time about how healthy it is to forgive immediately, but instead I'll just simply say what Jesus told us. Here's how, I'm trying to read this and everything else, and the sunlight and everything else and the shadows. Let's see here. Here is how being forgiving is a selfish act. Jesus said, you will be forgiven as you forgive. And that goes along with those verses that I said. As a matter of fact, you'll be forgiven as you forgive. And if you don't forgive, God won't forgive you. So, in other words, if you are a good forgiver, you will be forgiven well in return. And if you're a bad forgiver, you will be forgiven badly in return. And not only that, God will not be forgiving to you if you're not a forgiving person. So forgiveness is more for me than it is for the other person. So I will finish again with my opening statement. Be kind, never judge, always forgive completely, immediately, and always. So just to close with that, just when we talk about forgiveness, and another thing about forgiveness, it's not one of those things. A lot of people like to use that as a stick it to somebody. Hey, I just want to let you know I forgive you. The person didn't say I'm sorry. They don't know what you're talking about or whatever. They're just doing it to kind of stick it to somebody. That's not forgiveness. You don't have to tell someone, hey, run them down and go, hey, I just want to let you know I forgive you. Type of thing. That's kind of using it just to stick it to somebody more than anything. Forgiveness is something that you do is between you and God, and you keep it with yourself. Now, if a person comes to you and says, I'm sorry, hey, just say, hey, it's forgiven. All is forgiven. And maybe you can explain to them some of the scripture here. But it's one of the things that we are supposed to do and we should do. It's good for us, and it is good for the other person as well. But forgiveness is a very interesting thing, and I encourage you to go and read through Matthew and read through the Lord's Prayer and everything else. But another thing to go along with that, not judging and being kind to people. So anyway, that's just something that was on my heart, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And I thank you for listening to me. And if you're still online, I haven't put you to sleep yet, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and share this out with others. And I'll plan on seeing you on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. And the wind's blowing me around here a little bit, so I'm going to close this out here with a word of prayer. And I'll scoot on here. God, I thank you that we can come here today, and that we thank you for this beautiful weather. God, I just thank you for the beautiful skies, the springtime that's coming along. And God, I just thank you that what it means to us as we see everything coming back to life. We know there's a lot of pollen in the air, God, but we are so thankful to watch things come back to life. And it's a reminder for us as Christians that Jesus conquered death, and we have new life through Jesus Christ. And so, God, we thank you for that. And I speak on behalf of everyone who may be listening right now, God, when I tell you that we love you. God, we thank you for the gift of salvation we have through Jesus Christ. It's in Jesus' name we pray all these things. Amen. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to scoot on out of here. It's a beautiful day. I encourage you to get outside if you can. I'm going to be singing this afternoon at Morning Point East at 2 p.m. And I think we're going to be outside. Poor Pat, her music's going to be blowing everywhere while she's trying to play the piano. But we're looking forward to being out there with those guys, and praise the Lord for a beautiful day. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you Sunday morning, 9 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. if I don't see you sooner. Take care.